As most of you know, I have been a landlord for over 20 years. I know I look like I started when I was 5. I get it, and thank you. However, there are some tips and tricks to being a landlord. Number 1, you have a written lease for a reason. This written lease is very important. Basically, everything refers back to the lease. I always encourage my landlords not to make any decisions that don't fully support the executed, signed legal document between them and their tenant. The second thing I will tell you is you can't make tenants or landlords good people, right? We can't all get along. We don't all like each other. I understand. I get it. However, I will tell you, do the best you can, right? So at the end of a relationship, I recently had a landlord who the tenant broke the lease and left early. She was technically supposed to have the electric on for the rest of the month. She did, however, pay rent and leave during the middle of the month, but paid rent for the whole month. She did, however, pay rent for the whole month, even though she left during the middle of the month. What I will tell you is she turned off the utilities. The landlord called me upset, and understandably, I get it. What I would do and what I advise them to do is to look at it as a whole. They have their home back. They have their tenant out. I can find them another tenant. This particular landlord, I found them a tenant in under 5 days. So them turning off the utilities and turning them back on is not a problem. They actually have to credit this old tenant back for the days of rent she paid in which the new tenant will take place. I will tell you, as a landlord and a tenant, thoughtful communication is the key to the relationship. Try not to let your emotions take the driver's seat. Try to think through things logically and think about what your goal is as either a tenant or as a landlord. Those are just some tips that I have from being a landlord for over 20 years.